Modern Family's Mitch and Cam are one of the most recognized couples of comedy TV. Their relationship is challenging, entertaining, dramatic, at times deeply loving, and other times annoying. On the surface, they look like a sweet, chaotic, opposites attract couple, but upon closer inspection, many fans have noticed that they have plenty of red flags. In this analysis, I'm going to look at Mitch and Cam across 4 different categories: communication and conflict, power dynamics and independence, chemistry, intimacy and toxicity, and emotional safety and growth. At the end, we'll try to determine if they pass the relationship review. My name is Ingrid and welcome to my channel. Here I discuss psychology, character analysis, media, and more. If that's something that sounds interesting to you, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm a small channel and it really helps my growth. So let's get into it. Mitch and Cam notoriously handle conflict and communication poorly. They're constantly creating and then solving problems and conveniently forgetting the lessons they learn from all of them. It's like throughout every episode they have some ongoing conflict that could be solved easily by being open and truthful, but they almost always choose to hide it or lie. The things they do choose to be upfront about are usually trivial, as if they use these less important problems to mask their deeper resentment.
I cannot believe that you did this to me yet again. Oh.
I didn't do anything. I cooked a meal in our kitchen.
And then you left on purpose, knowing that I would not be able to sit here without cleaning it up.
Life is messy sometimes. Big deal. It gets cleaned up. You're the one with the problem if you can't leave a few dirty dishes for a couple hours.
Okay, fine. Cam, I'm not cleaning it up.
Perfect. You know what? Why don't you make it bigger?
Okay, get ready, because you are going to come home to a giant mess.
And I will give him a giant hug when I get there.
They then patch their very toxic issues with seemingly meaningful apologies and a hug by the end, then do the exact same thing in the following episode like they suffer from some sort of sitcom goldfish memory that no one else in the series has. It's also incredibly difficult to find an episode where they aren't lying to or manipulating each other in some way.
They will do each other's murders. We should do that.
Right, so I would tell Cam to lose the bike shorts.
Keeping me out of it, and I tell Phil to lose the jokes. Look at it. Come on, you're all heroic and Paul Bunyan, and I'm like some sissy man with pinkish cheeks and a turned out heel.
My daddy making this for us means he's accepted us for who we are. Don't you get that?
I'm really, really sorry.
I could give you one more veto if you give me one more too.
Okay, sure. And in the future, if there's anything that
The wedding singer. Okay, thanks, Daddy. I'll send you the perfect picture to model it on.
They go to extreme lengths to hide their actions or feelings from each other constantly. After years of truth being the main solution to their problems, you'd think they learn, but they don't. They continuously choose to be secretive or bottle up emotion, Mitch especially with the latter. They seem to have no conscience when it comes to white lies or getting one over on the other, seeing it as harmless when it actually plays into an ongoing issue that seems to get deeper and deeper as time goes on.
I tried to relax in there. I really did, but it was difficult. I guess because I felt like I was, what's the word? Dying. Honestly, the only thing that kept me in there was the knowledge that Cam was right next door.
Go Royals! I love you! It was a solid plan. Just go for a quick peek, take some pictures, run back, splash some water in my hair. Oh, Mitchell, isn't floating so relaxing?
Mitchell notoriously struggles with being tightly wound and a bit of a control freak, so it's possible that he felt compelled to shield Cameron from hurting him because of Cameron's drama and his tendency to take things deeply personally.
You don't like it?
No, Cam, I do. Do you think that the kids, though, are gonna be able to learn it by tonight? I mean, maybe you should stick with something that they already know.
I knew this would happen. Why do you have to throw a wet blanket on my dreams?
Cam, it's just that sometimes you can be a little, over-enthusiastic.
Be in my corner. Don't be so critical.
Is that really how you see me?
Sometimes, yeah, I do, Mitchell.
Oh, Cam, well, if that's true, then I'm sorry. No, okay, from now on, I am in your corner 100%. Yeah, that song is gonna knock everyone out.
Well, I don't know, but wait till you see the dance I have prepared.
A dance.
Mitch probably falsely believing that it would be easier to control Cam's emotions by controlling the entire narrative. And Cameron could feel the same. It's often stated that Mitch is the more stoic, repressed one in their relationship, but both of these men share a dramatic quality, potentially making it feel uncomfortable for both of them to come to the other with difficult conversations.
I couldn't be the one to tell him to get a job, but maybe somebody else could. Anyway, you were saying how overwhelmed you were at work.
I'm overwhelmed by this work.
You cannot imagine the sense of contentment
Imagine how much more satisfying it would be after a good day's work.
Even when they know a lie will hurt the other, they do it anyway, often as a way to prove they're better than the other one.
I failed miserably, and look at you. You did everything so perfectly.
Well, yes. And no. I've just been watching how you've done things all these years, and I just perfected it.
Oh, please, Mitchell. Cam, he was every bit the failure you were. He was late picking up Lily. She was in with the custodians. The only thing he had less to do with than dinner was the dimmer.
But there'll be more on their constant competition later. When they do sift through these issues and come to a resolve at the end of the episode, it's almost as if the writers wanted to make them seem like they were some sincere and healthily communicating couple. They seem genuinely sweet, always admitting to their faults and promising to be better. But because their actions repeat for the entirety of the show's 11 seasons and never really improve in a steady way, I'll have to rank them low on the communication scale. Mitch and Cam's relationship is filled with power struggles disguised as innocent quirks. But when you really watch how they operate within the relationship, you start to see how often both of them are fighting to assert control, whether it's emotionally with each other, socially, or even in the battle for who's the best parent.
Come on, Daddy, it's time for our wedding.
What's happening?
Now, Lily and I are getting married.
What's happening?
It's a phase that some girls go through, so.
Oh, cute, 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 cute.
Yay!
Hey, loving this.
Daddy, move.
Okay, I guess I'll just go sit on the groom's side.
Oh, come on, Cam, it's fun.
You finally got married! Hooray!
Ow!
Oh, are you okay, sweetie?
What do you think?
There's some sort of subtle battle happening in almost every episode about who's more right, more deserving, or who's a bigger victim. Both of these men's first instinct towards each other is to be envious, vindictive, then support comes much later. It's almost as if neither of them can let the other have something good without it meaning that the other is inferior.
I forgot about this fun middle part. You see, now it looks like the fish is jumping out of the water.
Yeah, right over mine. Oh, you know what? I just remembered. Mine comes with a really fun pedestal, too. Oh, look at that. Oh, and proper hierarchy is restored.
In this way, there's very little room for individuality because neither of them feels entirely secure in who they are when the other one is shining. We can see this as one of the reasons behind Mitchell's genuine dislike for anything that makes Cam seem weird.
Okay, gun to your head.
Okay.
Which pair should I wear?
Oh, gun to my head. I'd say pull the trigger.
It's like if Cam doesn't fit into this image that Mitch crafted of him, he's cringing. His clowning, his Missouri roots, his drama, all things that make Cameron feel like his whole and shining self.
You don't think I notice how condescending you are when we come here? You just sit on the porch, you roll your eyes, you don't participate in anything, and yeah, I said set. But that's how we talk here. I'm from this place, I'm proud of this place. And it hurts me that the man I love just thinks it's some big joke. Come on, sweetie.
Lord of mercy.
Maybe because Mitchell struggles to deeply connect with many parts of himself, often oscillating between control and trying to let go, and he feels resentful when he sees Cam being unapologetically himself. Cameron seems to genuinely like Mitchell and everything he does on the surface, but still manipulates him, tries to change him, and again sees him often as competition before seeing him as a partner.
Your assistant is hot for me. That's why he's been playing the saboteur.
And you're sure it's not because he wants me?
You just said he didn't.
Well, I was protecting your feelings.
He hugged me in the elevator.
Well, pick out China and move to Vermont.
He said it kills him to see someone else have something he wants.
Yes, you're the someone, and I'm the something.
I'll call him.
Why don't we just go over to his house and stand on opposite sides of the room and see which one of us he runs to?
You get the check, I'll get the car.
We are not going over there.
I tell you, if you were single.
Oh.
Ryan!
They even go so far as to highlight the other's faults in front of others, making this competition invade their social lives as well as their personal relationship.
I turn to Cody and I say, now what are the chances of that landing there? He says where, and I say, the sunroof of a preacher man.
Wah, wah.
In this way, it could make both of these men reluctant or afraid to step into their own individuality as it's not fully accepted by the other and is even weaponized. And this could make both feel anxious when their codependent comfort zone is breached, like if one gets too far, it means the other is failing at their own individuality and they have to be pulled back in. Again, at the end of every episode, they will both realize how much they love each other for these quirks, but forget about this extremely quickly. Even after 11 seasons, which means 11 years of working towards this acceptance, it still feels surface level and presents a deep struggle to them. And for this, I have to also rate them low on this scale. Mitch and Cam definitely share chemistry, there's no denying that. As much as they often seem as if they're opposites, they have plenty of similarities and they do feel like a real couple.
Park by the swings so I can help you carry stuff in.
Park by the swing so I can help you carry stuff in.
You're sullying this, and I'm leaving.
Okay, well, say hi to your girlfriend.
She's not my girlfriend. The only reason we're paired together is because our kids are in the same reading group. Damn it!
I love when we ooh.
They're comfortable around each other, they share inside jokes, they have heartwarming memories, and in those end of episode moments when they drop the performance and actually express their love, it is believable, almost so much so that you feel like taken aback when they haven't grown in the following episodes. You get the sense that they really do love each other, even if neither of them knows how to express that in a fully healthy way.
We met at one of Pepper's legendary game nights. I remember Mitchell because he kept rolling his eyes every time I would get a little boisterous.
I did not. We were playing charades, and I had no idea how to act on my clue, and all I could think of to do was... And without missing a beat, Cam says...
Casablanca.
All I did was this.
Casablanca. Casablanca.
And there's no denying they have physical chemistry either. Even if the show doesn't really lean into their sex life, you can see their body language, their little glances, even during fights, all of it feels like people who know each other very well and share some really deep passion. And interestingly enough, the way they act so competitively seems to bond them in a way. Neither wants to be lesser, so they step up to be equal, allowing them to actually be closer. And when they are facing an outer conflict and they come together as a team, excusing their own competition, they're very effective. But unfortunately, they both use any intimacy they've built through their chemistry to their advantage in manipulation.
Yeah, this one's so yellow. Oh, you know what? I have a stain on this one. I can't wear it. Oh, Paisley, yeah, I don't know.
Are you kidding me right now?
What?
I know this trick, Cam. You take forever to pick out an outfit, knowing very well that I'll say, let's just go because we're late. Meantime, you get credit for offering to change while I'm the one who actually does, as usual.
Excuse me, are you accusing me of manipulating you to get my way?
Actually?
Because that's what my mother used to accuse me of, and I gotta say that brings up a lot of stuff.
You're crying without tears.
Give me a minute.
Because of this, intimacy probably always feels like a bit of a double-edged sword. They may struggle with trust, vulnerability, or true connection because these are all things that are weaponized between them to the highest degree. They seem to use intimacy as a tactic after sabotage or lies to patch up their messes, but not as a first reaction to actually gain closeness for the sake of a good relationship.
Are you running away from difficult feelings? Are you holding on to petty grievances? It's not too late. Find your way back to the light, to forgiveness, to love.
It was amazing. There were no words, but I could feel Cam taking full responsibility for our fight.
Total silence. But Mitchell's eyes said, it's all on me.
And intimacy can't survive when it's built on manipulation. When you look past the chemistry, their relationship is drenched in toxicity. Both Mitch and Cam repeatedly lie to one another, go behind each other's backs, not because they have to, but because they believe they're justified when they're doing it. That kind of behavior over time creates a dynamic where neither person can fully trust the other, even though they keep pretending that they do. Cam often plays the victim when he doesn't get his way, making Mitch seem cold or unfeeling so he can reclaim the emotional high ground as the one who is the most hurt.
You don't just tell your partner you may have a baby with someone else and expect them to go back to eating a delicious and inventive meal like it's nothing.
Okay, Cam, but even if he is mine, it doesn't change anything between us.
Mitchell, I need to have my reaction.
Mitch, on the other hand, uses judgment, sarcasm, and emotional distance, always dismissing Cam's feelings or choosing to stay quiet in moments that would benefit from vulnerability.
Honey, these things happen in every relationship. You absolutely do not need to tell your partner everything.
Okay, well, that's a fun thing to hear your husband say.
Oh, please do not turn this into something.
Well, I was going to say yes, you need to tell Arvin because you want your relationship based on truth, which apparently mine is not.
Except for these key end-of-episode moments. Both are passive-aggressive, reactive, and more focused on winning or being the one in power than actually connecting. And again, even when they openly admit that this dynamic isn't right and isn't working, they do the same thing over and over. That kind of stagnation isn't just exhausting, it's toxic. For a couple that's been together more than a decade by the end of the series, Mitch and Cam show shockingly little emotional growth. They remain stuck in the same cycles: secrecy, jealousy, competition, and reactive emotional spirals. And what's worse is that their constant involvement with each other often leaves little space for their daughter, who's repeatedly jokingly shown to be overlooked.
If you had my dad and my upbringing, I mean, have you ever been picked last for a team, Lily?
Well, at gym the other day, these mean girls.
I mean, you have no idea, Lily, the bullying and the teasing.
They put me in the ball bag.
If I am a little dismissive, it's only because of my harrowing backstory.
They said if I told, they'll kill you and Daddy.
Oh my God. I've been making this all about myself. I haven't even been thinking about Cam.
They're often great and loving parents, but struggle to meaningfully connect with her because of their own struggles with vulnerability and with each other. And Mitch, who already struggles with emotional expression and vulnerability with everyone, often has to brace himself around Cam. He tries to anticipate Cam's reactions and adjusts his approach, not because he wants to be thoughtful, but because he doesn't trust Cam to respond calmly or be understanding, at least not the first time around.
Cam, hey, look, this is kind of work only.
Oh, please, they don't even know I'm here. I love this song. Let's dance.
No, nobody's dancing.
Say it with your hips.
You know I love you, right?
First man that ever did love me, right? We have fun.
We do. I was thinking that maybe we could turn the romance down just a little bit, you know? Because it's been getting a little bit, I don't want to say over the top, but it, Cam, I need your help if we're gonna keep dancing here. I feel like you're mad.
Meanwhile, Cam weaponizes emotion, makes things bigger than they need to be, and turns something small into a dramatic offense, often using guilt to get his way.
I just saw we were running out of pumpkin dip, and I know it's your favorite, so I brought you some.
What are you hiding?
Hiding?
Mm-hmm.
Shame on you. It's Thanksgiving. I think it's sad that you two look at life as some sort of game where everyone's trying to get away with something. Some people are just nice. They bought it. Truth is, I paid for the jamboree with money we had saved for a romantic Hawaiian vacation.
That kind of dynamic not only blocks vulnerability, but it punishes it and makes it even scarier to approach. Over time, it completely destroys trust. And again, while the show occasionally hints that they might be making progress, it never actually sticks. They always fall back into old patterns, like they're more comfortable in dysfunction than in any other form of evolution.
Sometimes when you leave the room and you don't turn off the lights, I just
Seriously?
feel
That again?
surfacey.
Well, I told you not to harp on me about the lights.
When I have to nag you, it makes me feel like I am your mother, which could be why it's been a month since we played with each other's pogo sticks.
Oh my God!
We choose our partners because they represent the unfinished business from our childhood.
Which they probably are from the sounds of both of their families. And actually, to mention this, both of them were taught early on that vulnerability is a bad thing or can be dangerous. Cam growing up in Missouri, where being a gay kid presented many extra challenges around self-expression and emotion.
You are weak and weepy. That's why we can't ever say anything to you, because we know you'll crumble into a big heaping mess.
Oh, are you saying I'm the one people have to step around, that I'm the Pam of the family?
You mean the Cam of the family? Because that's what we all call it.
And Mitch growing up with a whole mess of emotional repression and vulnerability issues.
Trust me, I gave you twice as much as my father ever gave me. The man kissed me one time in my entire life. Came up behind me, kissed me in the back of the head, said, "Good night, Becky." He thought I was my sister.
This is the problem. Jay's dad doesn't kiss Jay, so Jay doesn't kiss Mitch, and Mitch is uptight.
Okay, uptight was really not on the table. This is more about kissing.
Jay, kiss your son, he's a mess.
And for more on his childhood, you can see my deep dive of Claire Dunphy that mentions some of that. So it's no wonder that they struggle with this with each other. But with so many realizations, deep moments, and times of being each other's safe space, this should be chipped away at. And maybe it is, but not in a way that prevents their lies, manipulation, or hiding. As stated multiple times, they show little to no growth in comparison to the other couples in the show. So unfortunately, another low rating. Sadly, as much as I love them, I have to say that Mitchell and Cam are not the healthiest couple. Though they're lovable, hilarious, they have great chemistry, they're deeply comforting to anyone who's been in a relationship that possesses both love and dysfunction simultaneously. They don't help each other grow or even give honest support for individual improvement. And when we actually break it down, their relationship is built on patterns that go unresolved for over a decade. The same fights, the same lies, the same emotional games. They clearly love each other and are very passionate, but they don't evolve together. So no, Mitch and Cam do not pass the relationship review. Ultimately, they bring out each other's worst traits more often than their best. And by the final season, it feels less like a healthy relationship and more like a long-running performance they've both agreed to keep up for the sake of the audience. And that's all I have. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments where you agree, where you think I was wrong, or who I should cover next. I love some good feedback. And if you're feeling generous and want to send me a donation, the link is on my page. Thanks so much again, and I'll see you next time.